Also, we had double cats today, 2 scoops.
Ooh,
Two
double
scoops of
cat.
cats. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Anyways,
Excitement.
hello and welcome back to another episode of Internet Friends, the episode where we have two cats who both hate ice just as equally.
They do.
Mhm.
So much, as should we all.
But not for the reasons you'd think. I don't know what that meant. I'm so fucking tired. I got like no sleep last night.
Oh boy. Well, that means you're gonna be a little bit punchy, which is fun. All you need now
I think
is
we're all
a
punchy today.
Yeah,
all,
me
all
probably.
we need now is a tall boy of Steel Reserve, and we'll be good to go. As he was sipping the Dr. Pepper.
As I pulled so the glass that I had in that episode broke. I was putting it in the dishwasher and the thing just shattered.
Oh,
And
I hate when
I'm
that happens.
real sad about that because it was my only beer glass.
Oh, that sucks.
I'm sad for you.
Well, I know what to send you
Yeah.
for Christmas now.
Hey, money? A pocket pussy?
Please?
There are many options.
Hey, look, as soon as I can sell out and get us paid to do this show, you guys are going to get your W-2s, your health and dental coverage, everything. Like, I'll put you up until the government takes it away from us.
Wow, dental. You're really spoiling us.
Yeah, that's wow.
Next, you're going to give us vision insurance. Wow. Wild talk over here.
But
In this
don't
country.
either of you ever procreate, because I'm not giving you maternity or paternity leave.
I'm so good on that, actually.
We're going to monetize the birth of your children.
Hey, that almost happened to me once, and that I dodged that bullet.
Anyways, we are filming this on the 4th of July. We are not particularly patriotic on this show, mostly because
No.
right now our country is not giving us a very good reason to.
All the time, actually. All the time they're giving us
Yeah.
less reasons.
Yeah.
It's not stopping.
But anyways, to just share a little bit of patriotism, be a true patriot and punch an ICE officer, vote out your representative in Congress and the Senate because they don't deserve their positions for what they're doing to this country.
Mhm.
And Molotov cocktails are actually really cheap and easy to make.
Also, cover your face, but you can take theirs off. It's fine. Just
Yep.
Vinegar-soaked bandana will help counteract the things of tear gas. Just a little pro tips.
Yep. We're diving right in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting right to it.
Again, we we are a political show here, and we will say we're not happy about a lot of things going on.
We've officially changed to not a political show to a political show.
Political show we don't want to be. So,
Yeah.
It's not to say we would. We came in here with the best of intentions of just being a nice, bunch of friends talking about nerd shit, and it has dissolved into So, anyways, here's why all this shit is fucked.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
love
God.
having my taxpayer money going to bombs and not feeding children, and having my healthcare and Medicaid, and having people die just so that we can fund a secret police force that shouldn't exist to detain people who don't deserve it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
Mom
hey,
Daddy,
those bat
though.
alligators are cool.
Zora and Mom Daddy. We love this.
Yeah. We got one win.
He's my shining light in this dark, dark world. I love him so much. He's
Yeah,
the
no,
only
So
one.
good. But did you see him eating rice with his hands?
Like a
Fucking-
barbarian. Just like,
Yeah.
just erase this. Just say it out
Yeah.
loud.
Say it. Yeah. Well, and
Also-
wasn't that I saw a bunch of TikToks that were like Cuomo. That's who he was running against, right?
Yeah.
I refuse to remember his name.
Yeah, sexual
But
predator
that, like,
Andrew
the
Cuomo.
Yeah. That his political ads in New York were basically boiling down to, but he's brown.
And
Yeah.
Muslim? Oh my god,
Yeah.
2 for 2. That's bad.
You want to know
Yeah.
what I know that a mayor of a city should really be focused on? Israel.
Yeah.
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 We should all
I
visit
want
Israel. We love it so much.
yeah.
I saw that
I'm
from
gonna
the
go to that
debate
wall and
of
put a
all of-
prayer in. And that prayer will be for the dismantlement of their government.
Yeah, basically.
And then I'm going to come back thinking I'm Jesus, which is an actual thing that happens to some people that go there.
I believe it.
Yeah. The Simpsons did an episode about it. Or Family Guy. I don't remember.
I remember several different jokes about it, but anyways, speaking of
Batman.
I was gonna
What?
make I was gonna make the transition of just like speaking of corporate interest and billionaires controlling our government and our way of life and basically oppressing people. Batman.
Yeah.
Which is our homework assignment. We watched the Dark Knight trilogy from Christopher Nolan back from the late 2000s into 2012, and I have some thoughts of these movies. Interesting enough, they kind of came out at like a time when we were all basically, I would say, like mid to late adolescence, more or less, for all
Oh
of us.
yeah. When did they
Yeah.
come out? I should have looked that up.
The first one was 2005.
Yeah.
So 20 years
Okay.
ago.
Dark Knight was 08,
Oh.
and then 2012 was Rises. Yeah.
Okay, so I was 15 when the first one came out. Okay.
Yeah.
Weird.
I was 13.
Yep. Young, impressionable children watching, a billionaire beat up, guys who are basically just trying to feed their families.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of these jokes throughout the show.
Very different reframe with my current knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looking at Batman from a modern lens is very interesting when you kind of think about it. Which Seth, this is your
Specifically
homework
this
assignment. So I'm gonna let
Batman.
I'm gonna let you drive this one, Seth, because it's your homework assignment.
I don't know. Do you guys want to go movie by movie? Because like,
Yeah, sure. We
there's a
can start
lot
with
to
let's do
Begins.
that.
say.
Begins is actually the one I have the most opinions about. Actually,
Begins
think
is the one I
similar,
took the most notes on.
Same.
Yeah.
Oh.
In terms of it being a movie, it's not the worst, but not the best either. The dialogue can be very up and down in this.
I forgot how many one-liners they used in that movie.
Yes.
That was like my
Yeah.
main like kind of thing. You could tell that the studio probably made Nolan stick with some of the Batman formula with the quippy one-liners in that movie.
Yeah.
And like I forgot about a lot of them, but like they're pretty egregious.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it's the quippiest of the three. Also, one note I have is, can someone tell me what will happen when the evaporator thing makes it to the water hub? Because I'm not sure I'm getting it. There's like 4 different people that tell you what's going to happen when the water thing gets there, and the
Yeah.
climax of that movie. That third act is built for second screen viewing. And
Mhm.
also, this is the most comic book of the 3.
Yes.
This is the
100%,
most
yeah.
like. I remember when it came out, people being like, "Oh, it's so dark, it's so real, it's so like all that." It's not that far off of a
No.
Raimi Spider-Man.
No,
No.
especially the set design, because if you look at the first movie, especially in comparison to Dark Knight, especially that one is very Warner Brothers set, because like Gotham is stylized very well. They make it look like a slum because a lot of people are sleeping out of like tents and shipping containers like all like around the city, and like you don't really get a breadth of Gotham, whereas Dark Knight is basically Chicago,
Yeah.
basically.
And
With-
then
with
Rises
no
is
driver-
just
with-
New
with-
York.
Yeah, with nobody driving around in Chicago, which is the weird, like the one thing it's just like this is a major city and there are no cars on the road.
We'll
Yeah,
get
like
to
a
Dark
Lakeshore
Knight,
Drive,
but yeah, we'll get to Dark Knight. But there's that part where the fire truck is on fire, and they're like, "We got to go down underneath," and you look over, and the oncoming traffic is completely clear, and I'm like, just go around, just go around it.
Yeah,
Like clear shot.
it there's a lot of moments that are just like completely movie setty of just like it's just like it's not a lived in world, which I think is the biggest criticism I can give of these 3 movies as movies specifically.
Yeah. But yeah, what were your guys' opinions on Begins?
I did want to say, because I remember not liking this movie at all.
Mm.
I was kind of pleasantly surprised watching it this time. And I will say this about all 3 of the movies. I think all 3 of them are fucking too long. These are such goddamn
Yes.
long movies.
Yes.
Emily fell asleep during Dark Knight, and like she loves that movie, but like she straight up fell asleep for
Yeah.
the whole third act.
It's just it's tough because I don't even know exactly what they would cut in each of the movies, but I think each movie is like 2.5, 240, which is just like I had to watch them
Yeah.
in like bits because I was like trying to like watch them after work, and I was like, I gotta go to bed. Like this is I have another
Yeah.
fucking hour of this, Jesus, and like
Yeah.
this just started happening, so it's too long.
Yeah, these movies I feel like are one of the main corporates of like really creeping up like screen time. Like this is where
Yeah.
the movies started getting into that 2.5, 3 hour mark.
100%. And I just don't have the patience. I think I'm a YouTube girly. I like
Yeah.
short form content. And I even like longer videos, but longer videos on YouTube are like 2 hours, an hour and a half. That's reasonable.
Yeah.
Like this
And
is
they're passive content, more or less. Like, you could just have them on in
correct.
the background, which is kind of how I treated these movies. Emily forced me to like sit down and watch all of Dark Knight because how much she likes that one. But like, I was basically just like, I've seen these movies multiple times. I just need to like have them on, get a refresher, and then gather my thoughts.
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, it's been because I think I really only saw Batman Begins once. And again, I remember not liking it specifically for the quippiness. I was able to ignore it a little bit more this time because it is. I, there's definitely more of it in this movie than the rest of them, but it's not that egregious. It's just like I feel like when it happens, you're like, oh, okay. Like the one that really bothered me is Commissioner Gordon being like, "I gotta get me one of those." I'm just like,
Yep.
it sounded
Yeah.
like he was reading off the
Yeah,
script.
that one was bad.
And he's a phenomenal actor, but I think nobody could make that line sound natural because it doesn't make sense contextually. It's just like it's very weird. I did want to mention that Michael Caine is so fucking great. Michael Caine is
He
like
is.
so good in all of these movies. One of my favorite things is just him being so emotional over Bruce, especially the first, like the scene that really stuck out to me is the first time that Bruce gets hurt and he's in the back of the car and just the pain on his face of seeing somebody he pretty much raised from childhood, like being hurt and him having to take care of him still. Like it's just like, and that permeates throughout all of the movies, but I think he was such a good choice. I love seeing them work together, him and oh my gosh, Christian Bale. Like they're just really great chemistry. So and I did want to mention my biggest thing is like there's this strong of a police force and crime is this bad. It's almost like police officers are ineffective. It's because it's just like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Me and
They have
Emily
my police force. What's happening?
me and Emily were just commenting because we were watching Rise this morning, and it was toward like the last act, and like all the police officers are like running with no firearms, like toward like the militia group. And it was just like,
Oh, right.
No cops would ever do that.
No,
in any reality.
No.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think Begins holds up a little bit better than I remember it holding up. Like, yeah, we could talk about the quippiness. I think Warner Brothers Studios was still trying to kind of hold on to like the campiness of Batman, and like it kind of comes through in a lot of times. But like Nolan clearly was trying to ground it as much as he could. And once the movie came out and was successful, like obviously Dark Knight, they let him have a little bit more free reign on what he wanted to do. And looking at it from a comic book perspective, because I think all of us are pretty well aware of Batman's lore and everything else, Begins very much draws heavily from Year One. To Dark Knight pulls from like things like The Killing Joke, and there's even some of Under the Red Hood in there in some areas. Rises, I don't know what they were trying to do.
Oh, we're gonna do Nightfall, but it's not gonna make sense at all.
Yeah, it's like, what if we tried to do Dark Knight Returns, but not have any of kind of the messaging of it, and we'll also like mix in Nightfall in there, and then like, sure, like the Rises clearly is like one of those things where it's just like they didn't really know what they wanted to do with that movie. They just were told they had to make another one, and I think that's what that came down to. Because all three of them, well, especially the first two, ended a way where it's just like, if we don't make another movie, it's fine.
Yeah.
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 Like they left it just open-ended enough to like make it to where it's just like anything could really go.
Yeah. But I'm in the same camp where Begins, I didn't like it the first time I saw it. So it's the one I've seen the least. I was also surprised. I like, it's better than I gave it credit for, but it's definitely the silliest of the three. Yeah. You got your Batman with glowing eyes and a glowing mouth flying over a crowd. You've got Scarecrow getting tased in the face, which was hilarious. Yeah. When they reveal that Qui-Gon Jinn is actually Ra's al Ghul, why'd they do two reveals? They have that woman walk up and be like, Bruce, there's somebody you have to meet. It's Ra's al Ghul. And then it's just a different actor who turns around and he goes, you're not Ra's al Ghul. And then Liam Neeson walks up behind him. Why'd they do that? Also, biggest laugh that I had in that movie is if you watch that scene closely when he turns around to face Liam Neeson, the woman and the other fake Ra's al Ghul turn in unison and just exit frame. They are
Oh.
done with the scene. They're just, all right, bye.
Like, that's all I'm getting paid for. So see you later.
Yeah.
I was like, I did just enough to get my Screen Actors Guild card. Let's go.
Yep.
Oh,
It was so funny. It was like they just left. They're just leaving.
Yeah, like Begins is definitely the silliest. I think the one thing that they did very well was, again, since they were pulling heavily from year one, you know, him getting his ass kicked more often than he actually was, like, you know, badass, could take, like, 12 people at one time in terms of a fight. But, just like he's making mistakes, he's learning kind of stuff like that. And, like, showing Batman in that kind of context, I think was, like, really good. I also just, trying to make these like a mob crime movies, I think was a very good call. I will say, like, again, it's very hard to make Batman a serious character in my mind because, like, he's probably legitimately one of the most unrealistic comic book heroes that's ever existed. In my
a
mind.
billionaire who actually does something positive with his money. Yeah, that's not. That doesn't
I will
happen.
say, like, a billionaire being like, you know what I should do to help my community? I should go off to another country and try to live amongst criminals and then come back and fight crime, as opposed to, like, using my wealth or anything to help literally the city of Gotham in any way with infrastructure, job programs, open a freaking soup kitchen, anything else that you could do with all of your wealth.
Batman does do in the more modern comics, but not in these movies. Also, he's like, I'm not going to cut this criminal's head off. I'm not going to behead him. Instead, I'm going to blow up the building and kill who knows how many people in the process.
On my notes, I was like, how is killing the entire League of Shadows justice? You killed all these people. Like,
Yeah.
how is that the better the morality of these movies is very dubious, I would say. It's very confusing.
They also try to do, like, the no guns rule, but it's just like, however, my tank and motorcycle with guns attached to it.
Yeah,
those are
also
fine.
Just the property damage. Like, there's definitely some dead cops that he killed.
Definitely.
Like,
absolutely.
It was more egregious in Batman v Superman because, like, they were blatantly like, he just killed all of those people.
Yeah.
But then Snyder didn't even bother trying to do with the, like, oh yeah, no, he's cool with shooting people. It's fine.
Yeah. But no, in this, like, every single one of them I was watching, I'm like, well, he probably just killed a few people there. He probably killed a couple people there.
Dead. Yeah.
They're dead. Oh, he definitely killed Two-Face. Like, he pushed him off the ledge.
Yeah.
That is your fault.
Yeah. But at least he gives it all up at the end and just shoots Talia Ghul. Just full on.
Again, it's just like, I'm against guns unless they're attached to my vehicles.
Yeah, that's totally fine. That's different. Oh my god. I did want to mention really quick, just because Batman Begins. So I don't like this characterization of Scarecrow. I never have. I a fun fact about me, and you may know this, I actually genuinely IRL hate scarecrows. I think they are very horrifying.
Really?
I hate that people have them up. I just, like, they want my skin, and I don't trust them with their little smiley faces. They're just trying to get me closer so they could steal my skin, and I know their fucking game. So scarecrows horrify me. And honestly, as a villain, Scarecrow has always, like, really upset me because I just feel like, I don't know. I think the best characterization of him I've ever seen is Arkham Asylum. I love that because he is fucking horrifying. He looks horrifying. The actual, like, hallucination, I think it's more all the images and stuff like that. That's really scary. They use the same kind of beat every time he, like, uses the gas in this movie. It's always like maggots coming out of his face, and they do that like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
I was like, it doesn't hit that well after the first time, and I'm like, could be a very scary character. They just chose to kind of play him for laughs, and I was like, this is such a bummer of a use of this character, especially even just like the burlap sack over a super skinny guy in a suit is just not that intimidating to me. I'm just like, I fucking love that actor so much. He's Cillian Murphy. He is so great. And I'm just like, I feel like not the best use.
No. And he is a great actor. I didn't like his portrayal in this, the way he like was like, oh, it's Batman. I thought I was like,
Mhm.
Yeah.
what are you doing? Like,
Yeah. I mean, so early in Killian Murphy's career, but yeah, the way that they kind of used Scarecrow wasn't super good.
Mhm.
I've heard some kind of takes about how you could modernize a Batman movie, and one of the interesting ones. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Panda Red, but he's a creator on TikTok who does content. He's talked about like I would do year one, but instead of the perspective of Batman, make it like a survival horror style kind of movie where Batman's like the
Mm.
monster and like it's done
eh,
from a criminal perspective. I think that's a really interesting idea
Yeah.
because if you
I
kind
can
of
see
think
that.
about it, Batman is more or less kind of like an urban legend to a lot of people.
Yeah.
Like no one's actually seen him aside from the people who've been beat up by him.
Well, and for me, the best sequences in Begins are when you have like, it's like the stealth sequences in an Arkham game where you've got all
Yeah,
of the criminals around, and then Batman just like takes one out in the background,
Yes.
yeah,
Mhm.
and like those were the coolest moments for me in this, where it was just like, oh, that's kind of terrifying.
Absolutely.
Any other notes
I
on
did
Begins? Oh, go
I
ahead, Liz.
had, 2 questions, and is Thomas Wayne, like, is he always characterized as, like, actually, like, a good person? I feel like I'm not remembering this correctly because I was surprised just how nice he was and what a good father he was, and what, like, he actually wanted to he's, like, kind of a socialist and kind of really um,
Yeah.
put money into the community. I was like, "Is he always characterized this way, or is this new for this movie?" I genuinely don't know.
I I think that's usually how he's portrayed,
Yeah, they
especially in comics since this movie. I don't know
Oh,
for
I
sure
see.
before.
yeah, typically yeah, Thomas Wayne has been portrayed as somebody who was like, the way they portrayed him in this movie is like, yeah, like obviously family Wayne Enterprises, but like I have other people running the company and I'm using my money to like fund hospitals and public transit and all these other kinds of things that like help better the community. They've always portrayed Thomas and Martha Wayne as like pillars of Gotham and community, but I don't
Mhm.
think they've done a lot to like kind of really establish what their contributions were
Just kinda
from
general, like,
yeah,
philanthropic kinda things. Okay.
No.
yeah, they're
Interesting. It was nice to see, like, that he'd be, like, a generally genuinely good father. I was like, "Oh, I get why you're really." I mean, obviously, losing your parents is probably very traumatic, especially in
yeah,
that,
Yeah.
that context, but I was like, "Oh, they were actually really good people that actually were trying to do good for this city." Another thing, I don't know if either of you have a strong opinion on this, and, like, maybe I wasn't fully paying attention. I felt like the romance felt very unearned. I feel like it
Agreed.
didn't, like, when it came at the end, I was like, they felt very platonic to me. Like they just felt like childhood friends to me. Like I didn't get even slight like hint of a romance until the end where she's like, "Well, I'll always wait." I was like, "Why? What do you mean? Where's this coming from?" 'Cause-
Why would you do that?
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
and
really weird
I
because
I
there's no
feel
development there because
yeah.
very
yeah.
specifically, it's just like he's like okay, they're childhood friends. After his parents died, he gets really insular and everything else like that. Like is basically the whole thing with Joe Chill happens, and then he goes away, comes back. Like there's no development of that relationship whatsoever.
No. And even through the next two movies, even though she dies in Dark Knight, it's like, Bruce, you are way more into her than she is into you.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
there's nothing here. And he's like, she was gonna wait for me. She was gonna, dude, come on, just grow up, grow up. Like,
Yeah. Where's
no,
this
she
coming from?
wasn't. Yeah, literally everyone can see that she wasn't interested.
Yeah, that was they hint too much of, like, the reveal on that, just like, "Oh, yeah, well, she wrote a letter that, she actually chose Harvey Dent." Yeah, because she was in a relationship with him for a while, just like,
Yep.
you
Yeah,
left and you kept leaving, and honestly, they only have a couple interactions throughout the movie, and they're not particularly positive, so I'm like, I'm not it was so
no,
I was like, "Did I miss a scene? Is there a deleted
Yep.
scene where they actually had this really big heart to heart, and they're like, 'Oh, I've always loved you since I was a kid,'" like, that never fucking happened, and then all of a sudden, they're like, "Oh, we
Yeah,
wanna
in
be together." I was
fairness,
like,
Nolan's
"Why,
never
though?"
been known for his romantic plots in
yeah, true.
movies. I can't really
That
think of any.
it did feel like the studio's like, we got to have a love interest, because the character
Yeah,
of Rachel Dawes has never existed in the comics. So they were like,
right.
all right,
Oh,
fine. It's just
like, "Boy,
maybe they've
girl,
added her
kiss."
since. Yeah. Mm.
And they're not both boys, so it's a
Yeah.
little
It's 2005. We can't do that yet.
Different time.
We'll have to
Yep.
do Brucey with supermodels, but anyways, you're pining after Maggie Gyllenhaal. Go ahead.
I thought it was funny that like the first scene that he comes in when he's like playing the part of Bruce Wayne in Begins, he comes in with 2 women, and then in the next movie at the fundraiser he comes in with 3, and I kept waiting for the scene in Rises where he came in with 4 women. Just every movie they add another woman.
That's funny.
I wouldn't put it past them.
Yeah. No, I wouldn't either.
Oy.
So yeah, not bad. And there's no Batman voice in this movie. So I couldn't remember when it came in, but it's not in the first one. That is my last note.
He does it a little.
It's just a little bit, but it's way less.
It's less egregious than the second two.
Yeah. And I will say also, I think the teaser they chose at the end of Batman Begins, real cool. I was actually pretty hyped. I was like, oh, that's right. And like, I haven't been excited about the Joker in 8,000 years. And I was like, oh, this is kind of a fun little reveal. So
well, at that point, we haven't had a live action Joker since Jack Nicholson. So it's just like, it was still novel. Now, like, how many Jokers have we had since?
Far too many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Way too many.
Yeah.
If I had a nickel for every time a Batman movie ended with him pushing the Joker off the top of a building, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's strange that it happened twice.
Well, yeah, no, it's really funny because I went back and watched the 1989 Batman a while ago, and like I got to the last scene where Joker falls from the building. It's like, oh, they did that callback in Dark Knight. Like that was basically the same ending, but done in a different way.
Yeah.
Are you ready to talk about Dark Knight?
Yeah, we can talk Dark Knight.
Yeah, we can go Dark Knight.
I didn't take a single note. The thing with Dark Knight with me is that like when I first saw it, absolutely loved it, and then every subsequent time I watched it after that, I liked it less. So a handful of years ago, I stopped watching it because I was like, there's going to come a day that I hate this thing. I watched it immediately after Begins. This is a good movie. This is a really good movie.
Objectively,
the best of the
3. Easily.
Yeah. No, there's a reason it gets held up in high regard, especially amongst comic book community, especially because this kicked off, the resurgence of comic book movies because this came out the same year as Iron Man. So when you think of how both those movies kind of changed the trajectory of DC and Marvel in terms of cinema, for better or for worse.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is objectively a good movie. I liked a lot of the things that they did. There's definitely nitpicks that you can make for a lot of the stuff that happens.
Yeah. It's too long, like Bree said. They could easily have lost 20 minutes.
I remember when I saw it the first time in theaters, like me and my sister tried to like theater hop and like sneak into like other movies because this is back when you didn't have assigned seating for movies, so you could just walk into a different theater and just watch another movie. We tried to go watch WALL-E right after, and it was like my headspace is just not in this one. So we just left.
Completely different places.
But yeah, no. There's a lot to talk about with Dark Knight. I think one of the obvious thing everybody wants to talk about is Heath Ledger's Joker, which again is another thing that we could say is just like amazing performance, but at what cost? Better or worse?
At this point, too, though, seeing all of the people who like the cosplayers and people who idolize this version of the Joker and everything, while also having so many more interpretations of the character over the last almost 20 years. I get why people love this one. It's a really good interpretation of the character.
It's really good. Very unique and honestly I've been surprised how like scary I found this movie. I think and I will say honestly all 3 of the movies in just like the context of the world that we're in and the increase of gun violence, so much of this is like I was like, "Oh god, this is a little more likely than I would like to admit it is." But I mean he's horrifying in this. He is so chaotic. And Heath Ledger, I mean like this is a phenomenal fucking performance. Like, I don't think anybody could argue that. Even as a certified fucking Joker hater, he's so fucking good in this.
I was surprised. Like, I had forgotten how great he is.
Yeah, and I think the thing that they did well is that they didn't make him imposing. in any kind of way. Like, he is literally just a guy who is absolutely insane, but somehow just the sheer chaotic energy puts him in control of all the situations that he's in.
Well,
Mhm.
and the way he uses his voice when he gets that like low, and he can make it really aggressive, almost like a bark at times, which
Yes.
for other
Mhm.
characters would be like, oh, he's barking out what he's saying. Like when Dent is screaming about like, say what they used to call me at Internal Affairs, didn't hit nearly as hard as when the Joker is just
Yeah.
telling somebody to read off a cue card.
Yeah.
So he's just a guy, but he knows how to be threatening when he needs to be.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely. And it is one of those things where it's just like, yeah, this did spread a lot of edge lords, to say the least, as
Yeah.
we all know. But you can't deny how incredible the performance was. And in all fairness, I think a lot of people gave their best performances in Dark Knight, including Christian Bale and especially Gary Oldman as Gordon. I think
Yeah.
really like Gary Oldman is incredible, but like you could really forget that that's Gary Oldman playing Gordon very easily.
Yeah.
Yeah. The casting is good across the board, I would say. So I think it's one of the biggest
It
strengths
is.
of like all three of these movies. The casting is phenomenal. I forgot about how many people I was like, "Oh, that's right, Gary Oldman. Oh, that's right." I just kept forgetting these people were in this. It's been so
Oh
long
yeah.
since I've seen these.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
been a long minute for me as well. How many superhero movies do the villain making the hero make the choice between the woman they love and someone else?
At this point,
Because it's in
almost all of
this,
them.
mhm.
it's in
That is a
Spider-Man, it's in Batman Forever.
it's a common trope in this genre. I
Mhm.
can't think of one that doesn't have it.
It's pretty effective here, though, I will say. I just
Yeah, it
it's
is here.
done very
Well, and the
well here.
fact that it's implied that Joker switched the addresses when telling Batman,
Yeah,
because
Yes,
Batman
yes.
says he's going after Rachel, and then he ends up
yeah,
rescuing Dent.
yeah.
Mhm. Well, and I think a lot of people, just because especially with a lot of like the Star Wars shows and things like that, people talk about like how moments like this should have a huge emotional impact. And I think Harvey realizing he's getting saved when he knows Rachel is going to die, his reaction there is I mean, he's fucking livid. He's like, "No, not me." And then just hearing Rachel cut off before she dies is like it's a very powerful scene. It's done very, very well. And a lot of people harken back to that scene when they do talk about like newer shows where it's like, "Hey, this should be a big moment that you should be freaking out about." And they're just like, "Okay, well, next scene." So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I it was nice to honestly, this movie's just so fucking good. I
Well, and
forgot how
also
fucking good it was.
it's really fucking good. But with that scene as well, they take time after her death for that weight to really for you to feel it. It's
Yes.
Right.
not
Mhm.
it's like silent, I think. They're not playing like a huge score. People are reacting. You see the firefighters. There's that iconic shot of him standing on the rubble, like in front of the flames. Whereas
Mhm.
like a similar thing with like the most recent Spider-Man movie, because I watched all the Marvel ones recently for the first time. They kill Aunt May in one scene, and the very next scene is a comedy scene
Yeah.
where
Of
you're
course.
introduced to
That's
the other two
exactly it.
Spider-Men.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's like I need the weight of Aunt May just dying,
Yeah.
but
There
they
needs
hold that off because no, we gotta have jokey joke.
Yeah, one thing that Nolan does very well is pacing, and that's one of the things a lot of people talk about, especially with Dark Knight, is that like it's fast paced, but then knows when to throttle down and let you experience what you just saw.
Yeah.
Yes. Mhm. That's such a good point though, Seth, because I feel like I felt I felt nothing about that scene when Aunt May died because it
Yeah.
happened so quickly and then they just moved on. I was like,
It
I didn't
did.
even get a time to react to what should be a very emotional death, but I was like, oh well, I
Yeah.
guess we're on to the next scene. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
again, going back to
I
my thing of Iron Man being the movie that came out the same year as this movie is just like how it set the Marvel formula. It like for better or for worse, they followed that formula to a T, even when it's
yeah.
not
oh,
appropriate.
Uh, because I don't think we're ever going to talk about those movies. My biggest issue with the Aunt May dying scene is that
mhm.
she gets up, has a full conversation with Peter, and then says the line, "With great power comes great responsibility." Oh my God, I'm bleeding, and then dies. Like she's not hurt at all for the entire
Yeah.
rest of the scene, and then just oh shit.
Oh, blat.
Yep.
And quip.
Yep.
Speaking
Oh,
about like the
jeez.
movie being too long, do you think they should have? Because it's kind of annoying when movies do this now, when they kind of basically split one movie into two. Do you think they should have like split Two-Face, the like Act 3 out into a separate movie?
Mm.
The way it's structured in this, I don't think there's enough for its own to warrant its
Yeah.
own film.
They would have to do a lot of filler to make it work.
Yeah.
They would
Yeah.
have to. They would have to introduce a B plot villain. They would have to like have something kind of go around. Yeah, I don't necessarily know what they do with that to make that work, but it like literally that third act is so just like by the time you get there, you're just like this movie should have been over like half an hour ago.
Yeah.
Well, and also the whole boat scene again. I think I'm just like more cynical now. I was like,
Oh,
I think
somebody
both
is
boats would. I was
yeah,
like,
somebody's
exploding.
somebody's grabbing that detonator and like doing it like
Could-
they're getting mobbed for that thing. Like there's no way.
Especially
Yeah.
the like I'm thinking of like some Karen that's like, no, my little Susie's at home, boom, like she would be happy to
Yeah.
kill all those prisoners, not thinking that there's
Yeah.
also like people just working their job on that boat. Like there's
And
prison
not-
guards and there's people who
not
work
only
at the
that, the
prison.
amount of prisoners that were on that boat is just like, oh yeah, no, they're rushing the guards and getting the detonator. You just need one guy.
Also that, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, this doesn't
Yeah.
happen. Everyone's dead. I don't have
And
any
I mean,
faith
you-
in humanity anymore.
And you know both those detonators were gonna blow off both boats, no matter what.
My theory
100.
watching it this time was that if they had clicked it, their own boat would have exploded.
Yeah. My theory
Oh, yeah.
my theory is that it would be both boats. But yeah,
That's fair. Yeah.
that's my
Yeah.
theory. Is that like because like that would just be the Joker move. It was just like, haha, you thought you were gonna save yourselves.
Yeah.
I don't give anybody the option to live. Are you fucking kidding me?
I think you're probably right on that. And I also very similarly later when they have all the hostages like lined up and they're like the cops are about to like snipe them because they're like, oh, they just have the guards out here. I was like, I think in reality they would have killed all those hostages. I think they would have just
yeah,
been like,
Oh,
whoop,
yes.
whoop, whoop, down the line. They'd be like,
Absolutely.
oh, whoops. They were in the way. Sorry, we didn't know. Like that's
Yeah.
there would be no hesitation. All those people would be dead. So-
My thing is like when they do the like funeral parade for the judge and the commissioner, it's just like there's an active like terrorism thing and you're gonna like parade out in the streets. You're absolutely joking. No way.
The commissioner, judge have both been killed, and
There's
the
active hit
mayor
out
has
for the
been
mayor
targeted.
and the DA. Like
And the DA. Yeah, let's just parade them all down the street.
Also a horrifying scene though, because that's another one where I was like, yeah, I think this could happen today. I feel like, especially
Yeah.
somebody impersonating a guard, and I'm just like, oh god, this is again in today's context, this is way more
yeah,
scary because it's like this could
it-
happen.
it holds
Yeah.
up surprisingly well. I think Begins holds up for like different reasons, but like also with all the criticisms we've already mentioned. Dark Knight holds up the best out of the three by far.
I would say so easily. The mayor has great eyeliner too. I feel like they really committed to his eyeliner bit the entire.
I noticed that in Rises actually because they have a close up of him when he's at the football stadium, and I was just like, "Is he an emo man or something? Like that's a lot of eyeliner for a
I mean,
public."
go off. Like I love that for him. I just like it was an interesting makeup choice. I'm just like, because it is so blatant that he's wearing eyeliner. I was like, why did they do that? Like it's fine. I'm just interested. I want to know the reasoning.
It was in the actor's contract. Just like, no, I need that thick ass eyeliner on me every time I'm on camera.
He's like, I want my eyes
Yeah.
to pop.
It was his character choice.
I
In
love that for
fairness,
him.
if Emily had her way, I would be wearing eyeliner a lot more often in public. So
Well, get on it.
More often, which means he is wearing it. What's your favorite shade?
oh, it's as black as it can be.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. It's the way to go.
And we're almost in Ren Fair season, so trust me, there will be plenty of black eyeliner and photos of me with it on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ren Fair did just open here a couple weeks ago.
It's way too
Man.
hot to be going to Ren Fair out here.
It's so fucking hot.
Yeah,
It was like
98
98 with-
here yesterday.
Yeah, it's been
That's
like
worse.
Yeah, it's been 98 at 98% humidity, like in Virginia for like
Oh.
weeks.
Oh.
Even when it rains, it's still like, oh yeah, no, it's like 92 while it's raining.
I
And
don't
then
like
as
that.
soon as the rain breaks, like literally it's just steam off the blacktop the entire time.
Eesh.
It's been they've been redoing the parking lot at my job. So not only is it like extremely hot, and usually I just like take my lunch in my car, but it was just like burning asphalt and super hot, and it was 8,000 degrees in my car. And I was like, I guess I'll just keep working, I suppose, because it's physically too hot to step outside. So,
That is
I hate
objectively
this shit.
horrible.
Global warming? Who is she?
Yeah, what? No, we don't know her around here at all.
No.
Sounds
We're definitely
fake.
not just releasing tons of carbon and not investing in renewable energy whatsoever.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's fine, probably.
We have the technology to do it, but fuck them.
Yeah, no, we got to get those fossil fuels back.
Oh yeah,
And,
Absolutely.
and that's why I signed the big beautiful bill. No.
Also,
Would
poor
you like
people,
us
fuck
to
'em. I
invest
hope they
more
do
in
die.
fossil
Yeah.
fuel and also make our
Yep.
power grid more unreliable while charging you more money?
Yeah.
America.
And while we're at it, let's just kill all the elderly and disabled.
Yep. Also, we're funding mass deportation still. Like all that. That's
Yeah.
where all the money's going to. We're raising your taxes so we can deport more people.
Yeah.
We knew we were gonna discuss this.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was
But
just
hey,
I don't
associating
know.
for a moment.
I don't think just a big hole in the ground is nearly as interesting of a prison as one that has alligators surrounding it. So
Yeah,
You
then
could
we
do
have
both though.
cute little photo ops.
yeah, and sell merch.
Oh God.
Is there anything else we want to talk about Dark Knight before we move on to Rises?
The motorcycle, the Batmobile turning into the Bat bike is still a great sequence, and then that whole chase is awesome.
Yeah. I have a lot of quips about the Bat motorcycle.
Oh yeah.
Well, okay, so first off, a bike with two tires that large is not going to be that maneuverable whatsoever.
No.
And the like spinning thing it does when they try to pull like the U-turns and the slides, I'm just like, okay, so like you're ripping off all of your guns and cannons and suspension. Like it's just like,
Yeah.
like I realize this is like not suspending my disbelief for like something that's just supposed to be like a cool gadget thing, but it is every time I
Yes.
watch it, I'm just like, well, this like breaks any like groundedness that they tried to establish, which was one of the whole points of this trilogy, was try to make Batman seem more grounded as a character. Which
Yeah.
I don't know about you guys. I like it better when Batman's just a little bit over the top and campy, personally. Because we did watch
Depends.
Batman and Robin, which is basically complete other end of the spectrum.
Yeah, that's the opposite.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I like the character of Batman. I like the universe. I'll take whatever you give me as long as it's well done. You know,
Yeah.
like a good steak. That's not how I eat them. But
I was about to say, so Seth is no longer allowed on the podcast anymore.
But yeah, I'll take a campy Batman. I'll take a serious Batman as long as the film is good and like I vibe with it, then I'm happy.
Yeah, and I think these movies kind of influenced the direction Batman went in, like, you know, the animated stuff and the comics as well, because they had to, one, make it darker, two, try to kind of like push more of the high tech type stuff that we saw in the comics afterwards. Like, I feel like, you know, and the hardest thing that they had to do is the comics had to deal with the fact that it's like we have to make Batman make sense in the DC universe. Which is already a super complicated thing to do. Because we talked about this when we did the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy, where it's like it was kind of nice seeing Spider-Man not have to be weighed down by everything else going on in the Marvel universe. I think what made this trilogy of movies work was the fact that like he doesn't have to exist in the same world that a Superman exists in.
Yeah. He hasn't been zapped back in time by Darkseid and everyone thought he was dead. Like he doesn't have, 13 bat children. He doesn't, which I mean, it does kind of make sense why only a few years after this movie came out, DC did the New 52 and reboot everything.
We don't talk about the New 52.
There's some good Batman stories in there.
There are.
Court Owls.
Yep, no, Quarter Owls came out at that time. That was a pretty good one. Yeah, I I don't know. We all
That's it. That's Court
we
Owls.
the one Snyder that was working on Batman was in the comic side, not on the film side.
Yeah.
Mhm. This makes me feel real old. I was like, God, that was 1,000 fucking years ago. So
Yeah,
I'm just like,
right.
the new
we
52. Oh
we
God.
did nerd out as like the new 52 was like just a new thing, and I think we were really excited about it. And
Yeah.
just as time went on, we were just like, please stop, please stop, please stop, please stop.
Yeah, please stop.
It was like, there
Stop
were
doing
some
it.
good stories in there.
Oh yeah,
There
like it
definitely were
started
some, few in
strong.
between.
It started real
Mhm.
strong, but like just as time went on and they introduced new things, it was just like, okay,
Well, they made
okay,
their Superman so unlikable. They had to kill him off and bring back the original Superman into this new
yeah.
universe.
Yeah, that
Oh
was the
my
start
God.
of when like it's just like what if we made Superman the villain? And like that like trend has basically not been broken because like we've been getting so many of like Superman, but he's the bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm just like, okay, can
How
we stop
novel.
doing this? We get it. We've done this a million times already. Like, can we stop?
Literally.
No.
I did want to say really quick, and I don't know if you would agree with me on this. I think Christian Bale is a very good Batman and is also a good Bruce Wayne. I think he really
Yeah.
does both roles decently well. I will say I think he's almost a little too unlikable as Bruce Wayne because I feel like there's quite a few scenes where he's like, I mean, or at least there's the one big scene where he's like, "Hey, I hate all of you. Get out of my fucking place. Also, I'm going to be a recluse for like a couple of years." I was like,
Yeah,
you're
Yeah.
not convincing people that you aren't dressing
right.
up as a as a bat and going out
Yeah.
at night.
I think he very much taps into his American Psycho vibe when he does Brucey, which is like the like I'm gonna
Yes.
pretend to be a playboy billionaire, like I don't care, I just want to like bang supermodels and do stuff. When he's like playing that up, like he does really well with that. And then like, but
Yes.
when he goes into like his melancholy kind of like just like Rachel, I gotta save Gotham, Bruce, I'm like, okay, this is a little. Eh. And then his Batman again, like, led to a lot of jokes because of Batman voice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which we're going to get to another voice here in a second that is arguably just as bad.
Yeah.
So rises.
Yeah, so rises. Uh,
Yeah, that was a
there was
choice.
yeah, a bad one.
Yeah,
There
very bad one.
I forgot just how bad it was until rewatching it this time and going like I'm gonna have to turn on captions when Bane's on screen, and I'm
Yep.
not a caption girly, so like he would come on and be like, "All right, captions on."
Yeah.
Like,
It
what
was
were
such a
they going
choice.
for on that? Like, I
I
understand,
have
like, the
no clue.
muffledness of the mask, but, like, were they trying to do Tom Hardy doing a Argentinian accent through the mask? What was the choice there?
I have no idea. I remember interviews with Tom Hardy at the time still not making sense. He was like, "Well, we wanted to do a thing," and that was basically
Right.
the
Well,
interview.
because, like,
It's like,
we all know Tom Hardy's a
What
great
thing
actor.
though?
Like, nobody questions
yeah,
that. We've seen him in amazing stuff before. So, like,
yeah,
the voice was
Venom
clearly a choice by
too.
somebody. I just don't know who to do.
Well, I feel like it's honestly it's not bad all the time. I just feel like there's a lot of points where he over enunciates and over inflects certain words, and I'm like, that's where
Yeah.
it's the worst. Because I feel like
What,
honestly, like
Well,
base level, it's not terrible, but then he does that so often. I was like, what are you doing here?
it's
I
when he's
think that was
monologuing
them
is when
trying
it's
to
worse.
fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm.
but because I remember when the IMAX like prologue came out, which is just the first scene of the movie that they released before something that came out that year, and everyone was like, "I can't understand Bane. What is this?"
Yeah.
And so they went back and re-recorded a bunch of scenes,
Yeah.
and I think the over enunciating is him trying to fix it.
Yeah, I think they
Oh,
definitely did some.
interesting.
They probably did a lot of RDR,
Mm.
or ADR, for Bane's voice. Sorry, I should know better. I've worked in the movie and film industry before.
I was
So
like, he'll get it. He'll get.
yeah, so yeah, no, they
I
definitely
didn't
did
know
some
either way.
ADR.
So.
Yeah, they definitely probably did some ADR work to try and like get his voice to come through a little bit better. And because he's wearing a
Mhm.
mask the whole time, it's easy enough to do.
Also,
Yeah.
quick note on captions, especially if you watch this on YouTube, and I don't know why this kept happening, because I am a caption girly because I just, like, I don't know, people talk too fast and I can't always keep up. It kept changing my captions to Finnish, and I was very confused randomly.
Why?
Going
That's
going
so
back
weird.
to going back to weird caption things. When I went to go see 28 Years Later, it was Spanish captions the entire time.
Mm.
Oh, interesting.
That's okay.
I was just like, I don't know why. Like, if Emily bought tickets and it was for the Spanish captioned version, or if that was just a thing that happened. But it was
So you
really
get
weird.
the box then when you go to theaters, the little thing that like connects with your theater, or do they put the captions
No, it
on
was just
screen?
captions on the screen.
Oh, okay.
So like
Oh,
basically,
that's
I have
interesting.
words over the giant zombie dong.
See, I can't have that. I need the giant zombie dong.
You're like, I'm walking out of this theater immediately.
Yeah. My only complaint with 28 years later was that it wasn't in 3D. And
Just got the thing swinging in front of
Really?
you.
Because I think I saw other complaints on your Instagram, but okay.
Oh yeah, I actually didn't like it, but
Oh no, I didn't either. I agreed with your opinion of just like that was 3 movies that they didn't like remotely try to flesh out whatsoever.
You know, it's funny. You said like that I made points about it on Instagram, and I was like, I've talked about that movie publicly. I don't remember.
did. You didn't like it.
You're not wrong.
I'm glad.
We have
I have both of
record.
you to be my memory.
We should really start screenshotting, sending them back to you.
I've
Yeah.
made jokes.
Oh, please don't.
Honestly, I probably should go through Seth's TikTok and start saving videos now.
Yeah, I
Need evidence
don't
later.
know.
Yeah.
It gets to be a
Keep it
certain
archived.
point of the day, and I just this thing gets turned off, and I'm just gone.
Anyways, so Rises. I think we're all in consensus that this is probably the worst of the 3 movies. And
It's
Yeah,
well,
I liked it better than I
Breeze.
thought I would.
Okay.
It's here's the thing, and despite his voice, I do find this characterization of Bane pretty scary. I feel like everything he's doing is
He's
pretty
imposing.
scary. Like it's just again, I think which I'm sure we're gonna get into, but I'm like the morals of this are the most confusing. I'm not quite sure what they're
Yeah.
trying to say, and I think that's where it fails the most. Because I'm like, I think
Yeah.
structurally, it's actually, I mean, like all this shit with the stock market, like eat the rich, blah blah. I was like, okay, I'm like I'm on board, and then like I honestly where I just stopped was kind of to the point where they're just like they're about to kind of face off again. I'm just like I'm not sure what this movie's trying to say. I really don't know
Yeah.
what it's a little confusing because I'm just like, are we
Yeah.
pro police? Are we hate the police? Do we like the rich?
It
Is
gets
this bad that this is happening to them? It's framed
There's a lot
very
of dissonance, and I think more
We
than
go-
anything else. Go ahead.
we go through 2 movies where they're like, hey, the police in Gotham, they're super corrupt. A lot of them are working with criminals. It's all bad. And then the 3rd movie, they're like, cops are the best. Like, these are the
Why are
best
you
thing
doing
ever.
this?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of dissonance there, and my opinion of this is very much like they didn't really have a plan for a 3rd movie, and they were just said you just have to make one, and I mean,
You
once
make
pull-
this, we'll let you do Interstellar.
basically, like honestly, like I think at this point Nolan was done with Batman in general. He's like, I just want to make my own stuff at this point, which he earned the right to do by all intents and purposes.
Absolutely.
But yeah, like
yeah.
because I know like after Rises, and they started doing Man of Steel, he was an executive producer, but like he was just like I'm like as hands off on this. Like you could put my name on it, but like it was all Snyder's thing. And I guess like Nolan like being attached to it let Snyder do whatever he want, which was a choice.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like this one, like it doesn't, because the first 2 movies have very much like a cohesive like goal and plot and everything. And it's talking about organized crime and police corruption and everything else like that, and like systems failing and everything else like that. And then you get to this movie, it was just kind of like, anyway, so the rich dude is paying this dude to do this thing, but they're actually using him to do this thing. And it's like it's really all just coming together because your old mentor who you killed's daughter is pissed off about it and wants to blow up the city. Like I was just like,
Yeah.
okay, like What was the
Well,
point of this?
and even his reasonings for retiring Batman for like 8 years are like, okay, he left because crime was basically wiped out in Gotham after Harvey Dent died, and that law was. Oh no, he was still Batman for a minute until this a clean energy thing stopped working, and then he became a recluse. Like, what? Why? None of it like really checks out as to why he would stop being Batman. And
Yeah.
also, why did he
Right.
finish the Batcave if he had retired as Batman?
Yeah.
Great question.
Mm,
No,
Oh,
there's a lot of weird plot devices that they really don't go into. It's just like, oh, we had this clean renewable energy thing that we stopped doing because it could be used as a nuke. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, that's how nuclear reactors work.
yeah,
Correct.
and
And
that's why
I
Iran
want to be
can't
careful.
have one.
Yes.
Sorry.
No, I was gonna say I want to be careful, like how I talk about this, but like, was there a original plan for Joker to be in this movie? Is that why things got slightly off track? But with Heath
I
Ledger,
I don't think that's.
I
I
I
don't
don't
think.
know.
Again, all movies end pretty tightly for the most part.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
don't. Again, I don't think they inherently had a plan for another movie. Like they leave it as
Mhm.
open ended as they can. But Dark Knight ends very much like a. There's no setup for another movie. Like Begins obviously sets up the Joker to be in the next movie, but they don't
Yeah,
really
mhm.
like explain like who the Joker is and how he's going to be portrayed. They can kind of do whatever they want with him at that point.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I genuinely did not know. Just 'cause I'm like, he was just so popular that I wasn't like, especially the way they capitalize on the Joker now. I wonder if they're just like,
Yeah, and
more of that, please, more
it,
money printing, please. Let's
and
do
it's
more of
really
that, and then we
interesting
put
how
Yes.
it.
they
So
never talk about him in the movie either. It's literally just like we took down the
yeah,
mob, and like it's like, are you guys gonna talk about Joker at all? And like, because like that was the
That was
whole
a kind of a big thing.
yeah, like that's kind of the
yeah,
catalyst of like the chaos of everything that happened. Like, yeah, you took down the mob, but like really, it was like the reason it escalated so much was because of this one guy, and you don't even bring him up.
Yeah.
yeah. I'll have to look that up because I feel like and maybe it's totally unrelated. But I'm just like, it seems just knowing how corporate works in general, I would be surprised if they were like, just let's do more of that. Let's at least bring him back as a cameo or something. Like, I wonder if that
Yeah.
was ever part of the process.
Yeah,
Not
I
sure.
think it.
I'm
I
sure it had to be.
yeah, I think at this point, I think it was mostly just like Nolan was ready to move on from doing Batman. At this point,
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's good
How do
ideas
we feel?
in this movie. That's all I was gonna
There
I feel like
are.
there are ideas, but they're not fleshed out
no, definitely not. But sorry, go
because
ahead, Seth.
yeah,
I was just gonna say, how do we feel about Anne Hathaway's Catwoman?
I have relatively positive opinions about it. I don't think it's the best Catwoman that's ever been on screen, but I think as in terms of what she was working with, I think she did a very good job of her.
I feel the same way. I think she's one, I love that they have Holly Robinson in here just as like a fun little Easter egg for if you know, you know. Super
Yeah.
cool inclusion there. And also I do think it's interesting because I feel like and I don't know if this was an implication or not, but her and Holly are very, very close in this movie. They're very
Yep.
touchy. They're very affectionate.
Oh
And I'm
yeah,
like, I wonder if there was
Mm.
a solid implication there, or if it was just like a little like wink to the audience. I'm like, and I love that.
I
Yeah.
out loud said while Emily was sitting on the couch while we were watching it, it was just like I was just like lesbians.
They seemed like very, very close
Oh
friends. They
yeah,
were
well,
roommates, some will say.
yeah,
So
there
Yeah.
was like the one scene where like she's like right up behind her, like almost in like the prom hug thing. It was just like, yeah, we know,
100%. I was like,
we
oh,
know,
this is a little close. So and
just
okay,
a
Yeah.
love
little
that.
ting.
Just a little, aren't we all? I was gonna say it's pride, but it's not pride anymore. So
No.
unfortunately,
No, now it's
um,
wrath.
now it's wrap month. And
Yeah.
we're feeling it. I actually I feel like when they announced the casting of this, I remember not being super thrilled about it, but
Yeah,
I feel like she handled it very well. I feel like she kind of took elements from previous cat like I feel like there was like a little the kitten there. She kind of had her own thing going on. She was
yeah,
still intimidating but also smart, and I just yeah,
Mm.
I actually liked her a lot in this. I thought it was a really nice updated look at Catwoman.
yeah. At this point in
Yeah.
her career, she wasn't known for doing this kind of role for the most part. I think she did.
Mhm.
I thought her performance was pretty great. I think she had the right amount of attitude. Her physical performance and how she carried herself, like in being able to go from
Mhm.
like kind of the disarming, just like, oh, I'm just a frail woman, to like, no, I'm not. I will kick your ass and feel nothing about it later. Like, I think she did a good job, and I think hindsight's 2020. I think a lot of people were criticizing it because of who Anne Hathaway was at the time, but I thought she did well.
Right.
And like,
Yeah,
again,
I was surprised how much I enjoyed her in the role. And yeah, to what you were saying, that the first scene when she brings like the food to Bruce, and then he, says like, "Hey, that safe is not supposed to be open," and you see like a complete shift in her body language, and
Yeah.
like her face completely changes. She did really good with that.
yeah,
In the bar scene as well, that's one of my favorites when she, like, goes from, like, a
Yeah.
very serious businesswoman, "Hey, I already have control of the situation. You think I don't, I do again," kills a bunch of people, and then goes to just, like, a screaming, wailing
yeah,
woman,
I'm
like, "Oh my
screaming.
god, somebody help me," like, I'm like,
And as
she
soon as they
switches,
just,
she code
yeah,
switches so quickly.
yeah, no, she did a great job with that.
Yeah.
And again, she's gonna get compared like to the Michelle Pfeiffers of the world and everything else like that, which is gonna happen. Like, it's especially with franchises that have had so many other people take on those roles. But no, I thought she did great.
Yeah. This movie.
Yeah. I don't know. Like I think I said this in the pre-show. I was watching it going like, oh, I actually, this is better than I remember it being.
Yeah.
And then hitting the stock market sequence and being like, oh no, this is actually isn't that great. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
The stock market
It's just
sequence was like a very big breaking point for a lot of people. It's just like, yeah, no, if the stock exchange has like, a thing happen to it, any trades that happen at that time are just invalidated. There's no way that would work.
yeah.
Mhm.
I see what they were doing, and it's interesting, like what they were trying to do, but it is one of those like my note is this isn't how the stock market works.
No, it is not.
Like I know how
Yeah, I don't know, I
stocks work.
Yeah, exactly, I was like, I
Well,
have no
I was
idea
about
how
to say,
any
like,
of that works.
when you buy a stock or whatever, like, was going on, like, those transactions don't actually happen when you like do that. Like, they happen days later. So literally, you'd be like, hey, I didn't make those transactions. There was a
Mhm.
literal terrorist attack on the stock exchange. No,
Batman showed up. It was crazy. It was all over the news.
Yeah, just
Nuts.
just so weird. And again, like, the last two movies again like suffer that like weird thing. It's just like you're trying to like establish Gotham as this big metropolitan area. It's just like, but there's just not enough traffic there for motorcycles and cop cars to just be swerving in and out of traffic the entire time.
Yeah.
Like,
Which brings me back to a complaint I had about Begins, which is he's bobbing and weaving in traffic. Police are following him, helicopter. He just turns the lights off in the car, and they're like, "Where'd he go? Where'd he go?"
They have no object permanence. They're just like,
Yeah.
where is he?
Again, Begins is like the most egregious in terms of just kind of like they were still following the like Tim Burton Shoemaker formula a little bit, and like you could tell like Nolan was just trying to like, okay, can we like maybe tweak it just a little bit, and then once they got to Dark Knight, it's just like, okay, just do your thing.
And it is funny going back to your point of these environments not feeling lived in and not feeling real because of how desolate they are and how there aren't people around. That is a complaint that is constantly thrown around towards the Burton Batman movies. It's like, oh, you see these big crowd shots and there's only like 30 people there, and I'm watching this going, it's exactly the same. You've got huge empty streets where helicopters are rolling through nothing.
And the Burton movies have the benefit of, or like the benefit of the doubt is just like, well, yeah, it's all stylized sets. It's not a real city. Like, you can only have so many people in a studio at one time.
Yeah.
Whereas like this, again, it's just like you're trying to convince me that Gotham is like Chicago, but like this, like, Brie, you know more about Chicago than we do. I feel like there's more people around.
It's a pretty busy city, I would say. Kind of
I would assume, because I drive through DC all the time, and trust me, there's a shit ton of people in DC all the time.
Absolutely.
I was about to say, it's just like, how are they not hitting pedestrians who are just like fucking swerving in out on like their like electric bikes and everything? Like,
oh, they're dead. They're dead.
Yeah.
Just so weird.
Oh my god. Super sidebar. I just wanted to point out that it's my other son this time, spread eagle on the bed. Just the
Just
whole
letting
world
it all
to see.
hang out.
And you can follow it at onlyfans.com/Theo the cat.
That's Dante.
Oh, that's Dante. That's Dante. My bad.
Yeah, see, Theo's like, he's like, what? Is everyone showing hole over here? I love it.
It's my time to shine.
Hashtag show hole.
Finally. But yeah, I feel like because actually I stuck it out in this movie a little bit longer because I'm like basically in the third act. Again, this movie's 18 hours long, so I can't remember exactly where I'm at, but I feel like where it's absolutely lost me is that is like right after the scene where also Joseph Gordon-Levitt, love to see him here. I just adore him.
Yeah.
So I forgot he was in this movie. So
Yeah, this is when he was like at the height of his career.
Yeah. Adore him. But yeah, the scene where Bane's reading out the letter that Gordon wrote, and I'm just like, he's just really admonishing him for like doing this. And I was like, what are you trying to say here? Like, I really don't understand. Are you like, okay, are cops bad? Are people bad? Are rich people bad? Because now we're letting the citizens rule everything, but they're doing it badly. So they needed cops the whole time. I was like, I genuinely, I was like trying to like figure out what they were trying to say, and I'm still so fucking confused. I don't know what the morality of this movie is or what it's trying to say. And that scene especially, I was like, I don't think he necessarily did anything wrong. I feel like you're saying like Gordon is like the worst person ever now. I was like, I don't know. He might have been trying to do the best he could with the city he's given. It's a lie, but it was kind of an important lie. So I don't know whether like actually he's the worst because cops are bad. I think in this scene at least, anyways. I'm not sure. So
his characterization's a
really
little all over the place because he's characterized as like this person who like seems to have a very good like idea of how the world works, grew up orphan, like he's supposed to be the Robin of this movie. We could talk about that a little bit later.
That's his name.
Anyways, we'll talk about that a little bit later, but like he is like he seems to have a good idea of how the world works, but then that like Brie, you're right, that revelation makes him like scold Gordon, and it's just like, no, like I understand Gordon pretty well in this situation. And like, so I'm just like, I don't know. It's again, this Rises is definitely the most undercooked of the movies in terms of what they were trying to do.
100%. It did not know what it was trying to say. And again, and that scene in particular, because he's just like, he was like, "Well, you lied." It's like, yeah, but he lied to save a lot of people, and also
it's just like
a white lie.
It's just like, do you realize how many dirty cops we had in Gotham PD at the time?
Yeah,
like, like,
well, and also like depending on how you look at like Two-Face as a character, it wasn't a lie. Harvey Dent did the good stuff, Two-Face did the bad stuff, and you can
that's a great
kind of use that logic.
Yeah, and you can also like just more or less argue it's just like yeah, like Bray, I just more or less agree with you. It's just like I have no idea what this movie was trying to do.
Yeah. I no.
It depends on the scene, I think, which is like it's so confusing. I'm just like, I don't. And what bothers me is well, like I know I mentioned this, but just like because I guess Bane is essentially giving the power back to the people, and then there's like a court system, but the court system's corrupt. And I was like, okay, is this an implication that citizens are too dumb to do something like this, and they're just violent, and we need the cops to keep them in order? I was like, is that? But you're also saying like rich people don't deserve to be like. I like, again, what are they saying?
Again,
rich people shouldn't be in power, but also the poor people shouldn't be allowed to like take back from the rich people.
It very much had the like, just so you all know, socialism is just as bad. It's just like, okay, then what are we supposed
to
it's just like, it's just as corrupt and horrible. I'm just like, okay, well, that doesn't help anybody.
Nope.
No.
Oh, goodness.
Go ahead, Seth.
Also, as somebody who has become homeless and like, had their bills shut off and all of those things, it does not happen overnight like it did with Bruce. They usually give you a couple months to like get current.
Oh yeah.
But he had to be romantic and sleep with Talia, who he had really not that much recourse with either. That is, again, boy-girl kiss. So I was just like, okay, I guess this is happening now.
Yeah.
My favorite thing about that is that it's just kind of like, this is the first time he's had sex in 7 years.
Oh, good point.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe he's just super horny. Maybe that's he's like, "Oh,
It actually
pretty
might be
lady."
longer than that.
Yeah. But yeah, no. God, I had a point about something and I just lost it.
Sorry.
No, it's so good. It's like okay, we were talking about Bruce getting laid, power being turned off,
Kaya Ghul.
Talia Goal. Like, yeah, see, like that's the thing. It's just like it, you know, going back to like Batman Begins, it sets up Dark Knight. It's just like okay, you're getting the Joker. They're still battling organized crime and everything else like that. This movie was not really set up for it, and I just don't know what they were trying to do. It really does feel like that they were just like, oh, consequences of previous actions. It's just like, okay, like I don't really care about any of this.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't. If they had taken time in one of the previous movies to be like, oh, or Bruce Wayne is working with this person on a clean energy thing, and then you're seeing like that it didn't work out. And now there's a strife between them years later.
Yeah.
It would make more sense. But to just drop you into the movie and be like,
Yeah.
Bane's the villain. Also, look at this other thing that's going on.
Yeah.
There was a
Mhm.
clean energy. Just remember that for later. But
I was
Bane.
about to say if they were like if they had done it like maybe like even like a few years after Rises and like they're in the middle of like hey like I'm not doing the Batman thing, I'm focusing on Wayne Enterprises and using my fortune for good and like clean energy, all that kind of stuff, and then had that jump off, I think that would have worked better.
Mm.
Also, Seth, you brought up Court of Owls. Was that out by now?
Yes. Court of Owls, I think I think it started in 2011
Okay.
and this came out in 2012.
Okay, but probably not enough time for them to pull that for source material.
Yeah, definitely not.
Okay. So, because I was just like thinking, it was just like, because like I feel like after you take down the mob, like doing a Court of Owls style thing,
Yeah, that would have
like
been cool.
yeah, like well, you can make it work. It's just like okay, so like you got rid of the crime, but now what do you do about all the like wealthy elite folks who benefited off of all the organized crime and everything else? Like, what did they kind of do about it? And that's, I think, a better angle that they could have gone with because, you leave a power vacuum like that. And
Yeah.
specifically, the people who were profiting off of it probably are going to have a lot of problems. The fact that they're not making a lot of money off of the impoverished people. Like, that would have been a little bit more on brand and on tone for what the first two movies we're talking about. This one, again, like really just goes in the opposite direction.
It does. Well, and there's even that whole line in Dark Knight when the mayor is talking to Harvey Dent where he's like, are you ready for a bunch of politicians to come after you? Are you ready for the elites to come after you? Are you ready for everybody who makes money off of organized crime to then come after you if you start arresting all these people? And then they do it, and evidently everything just went fine. Everything was great for 8 years. And like, yeah, I don't know.
Nothing bad ever happened again. It was
Yeah.
Yeah, just really weird like shift in tone. I think. Any other kind of notes that we want to bring up?
I didn't take any on this movie. I was just like, okay, well, it's certainly happening.
This movie exists.
I took a
certainly-
few. But yeah, it's everything that I wrote down. We've already talked about. It is a movie that happened. It definitely is a movie that happens to you. It's not something you watch. It's just...
Yes.
Well, I think kind of talk about the influence of this trilogy because, like, I feel like this very much informed the direction that DC took with their movie franchises. Obviously, leading into what became the Snyderverse, which was a choice.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
like,
They felt as though they struck gold with the like gritty, real superheroes. And so that shaped everything they tried to do for the next decade.
right, and then at the same time, Iron Man came out, and that very much influenced the more like lighthearted MCU kind of approach, which ended up being more successful overall, but now is like kind of lost its luster over time because you keep making the same movie over and over again.
But we finally got Mephisto.
I don't want to talk about that.
Yeah.
I was
I
already
only know that
tired.
because I saw a single TikTok about Ironheart, and it was like Mephisto's here, and I'm like, great,
I forgot they were making that show.
cool.
Okay.
Yeah, so did I. It was they
And I
announced it
love
what in
Riri Williams as a
2013.
character in the comics, but at the same time, I'm just like, I have not paid attention. I haven't even watched like the recent Daredevil show. I haven't watched anything.
Me neither. Not for years.
No.
It's not worth it.
I peeked in on Daredevil because I'm a fan of the character,
Oh yeah,
and I like
absolutely.
the
Yeah.
Netflix show. First episode, fucking phenomenal. Second episode, not as good. Third episode, I don't need to watch this anymore. Like that was my viewing experience.
That sounds about
That's
what I
about
would
there.
expect from it.
Mm.
But yeah, so you know, Dark Knight Trilogy, I think it's gonna hold up for a long time. I think it's one of those things. I'll probably revisit it again in 5 years.
Yeah,
It definitely holds up for sure.
I'm definitely past the point of like I'm watching The Dark Knight every year. I'm watching it every couple of years.
Yeah.
This is like it's gonna be like 5, 6 before I watch it again.
I genuinely feel like I've outgrown comic book movies in general at this point. Like
Same.
there's like nothing that's really getting me hyped for anything at this point, and I think it is really one of those things where it's just like there's a version of Batman I like, but nobody seems to be interested in making that version of Batman right now. So that's kind of thing. I felt the same way about Superman for the longest time. Of just like I grew up loving Superman, but like it's just like everybody wants to make this very specific brand of it. I'm just like I don't care.
They haven't been able to do anything to make me care about the new Superman movie that comes out next week.
Nope.
Like,
I keep
is it
forgetting
next
that
week?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, it is one of those things. There's like I have zero hype around it. I know there's some people out there who are hyped about it, and for them, I hope you enjoy it. But like, I do not have a strong enough opinion about it.
No. Yeah, I don't care. Fantastic Four, same thing. Nothing I've seen has made me be like, oh, superhero movies are back. It's just
Well, I gotta see it now.
I think we need to just put some stuff in the vault for a while.
Yeah.
Let it breathe.
Yeah.
Let it breathe. Take a single breath, please. Like we're done. It's been so oversaturated for a while too. So I don't know why they keep trying. It's so weird. Like find a different property.
Literally going into Endgame was like it was already oversaturated. They really should have just been like after Endgame, it's just like we are going to reset. Like we're not gonna like necessarily get rid of the continuity, but we're gonna think. But like COVID happened, they started making all the shows on it, and then that like added on top of it. Like honestly, I think Disney Plus doing like series just added to the oversaturation and lore and keeping it like Marvel MCU literally ran into the comic book problem of like when you have all this stuff tied together, it's just like people can't buy every single comic you come out with every single week. Like it's not reasonable. You do have to have some of these segmented.
Well, and you also run the risk of like the reason I didn't watch the Marvel Spider-Man movies for so long is because like the first one that came out when it was being advertised was like, hey, it's Spider-Man and Iron Man. You want that. You love that. Yeah. I don't like Iron Man as a character. I don't like Tony Stark. I don't want him in my Spider-Man movie. I don't want to have to deal with characters I don't enjoy just to be able to see half of a movie of one that I do.
Yeah.
100%.
Anyways. Moral of the story, less moral of the story, maybe less comic book movies and shows for like a little bit. Live action ones at least. Let's go back to the animated world and see if we could get that fixed.
Yeah, let's focus on fixing that, fun. DC. Yeah. Hey, how about you just adapt the comics like you used to instead of changing the endings, because the Riddler did it. Like there are so many times that they changed the ending and it's just the Riddler did it.
Yeah.
Also, I hate it.
Don't let Bruce Timm do anything, especially if it involves Batgirl.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't let him near Batgirl.
We can all agree on that.
Next week we're doing The Killing Joke. No.
I would not. I would not wish that on. Up a bit. I would not wish that on my worst enemy. If you want to read the graphic novel, go for it. But we're definitely not watching the anime.
Yeah.
We've already talked enough about Alan Moore when we did Watchmen.
Yeah. I know I sent Aaron a clip of it, but have you seen that he just did like a whole long interview that was basically him just being like, "Stop adapting things, come up with new shit."
Oh yeah, no, he did his like masterpiece series, and he has like you can see clips on it YouTube, and like literally he does the thing where he's just like, "Could everybody please stop adapting my work, please make up your own shit for the love of God."
Stop doing it.
And like Seth, like I forgot what episode it was, but it was a long time ago where I was talking about it's just like, can we stop making like live action adaptations of like animated stuff and whatnot? And you were just like, you sound a lot like Alan Moore. It's just like, I'm gonna be honest, the longer time goes on, the more Alan Moore. I'm just kind of like, yeah.
He's on his
They
own.
made Nani leave Lilo in the custody of the state so that she could go to college.
That movie doesn't exist, Seth.
Ugh.
That was
Also,
a fever
Disney
dream.
doesn't like you. Stop supporting them. Disney adults are so
Yes.
confusing to me. Why would you purposely be like, this corporation loves me and I love it back so much?
Yeah,
I'm gonna spend all my money there. Weird.
I was telling
It's
Seth this
weird.
when he sent me that stuff, and I was just like, dude, it's amazing how like maybe like not even like 5 or 6 years ago, like Disney could do no wrong, and they have pissed every inch of goodwill they've ever had. Where it's just like, even when like people were just like, Disney's so woke, it's just like, okay, you're not making me hate Disney, and now it's just like, okay, Disney, you guys definitely need to fucking stop. I don't know what
This
you
live
think you're
action
doing.
shit is crazy.
It's so stupid. It is so fucking
And
dumb.
nobody asked for it.
I will say, having been to the parks when I was a kid, well, Disney World, they're fun. It's a fun thing. I'm not devoting my entire life and existence to it. I'm not.
I'm not getting married there.
Yeah, no. If I had kids, I would save up for like a vacation to take them at least once, but I'm not going to like drop, $8,000.
No.
It's crazy. I can't imagine how much it must cost to get married there, and people are doing it. I mean, they have a fucking wait list for people to get married there. I'm like, why? It's a theme park for a corporation that doesn't fucking care about you. They keep
Seth
giving you the
would
same
absolutely get
schmuck.
married
I
at
don't
Jurassic
understand.
Park.
Yes.
Oh,
I was gonna
sure.
actually. I was gonna say. Also, between the two Florida parks, I'm not going back to Alligator Alcatraz. I'm not making a joke about that again. The Universal is better. I went there as a teenager on a youth trip.
The rides
It's
are
fucking
better.
rad walking. Yeah, the rides are better. It's fucking rad walking through Jurassic Park. I love Universal, and I would 100% go there before Disney any day.
And you would
Fuck
save
the
a
Harry
lot of
Potter
money.
land.
Oh yeah, no.
Yes. Also, yeah, circle back. Please let go of Harry Potter. Like it's not
Yes,
that good.
please.
Alone.
Like,
It's
hey,
millennials, come on. We have so many other things.
I love Power Rangers. I can identify as an adult that loves a thing that was made for children. Grow the fuck up and stop. That's not my personality. Drugs and cocaine are my personality.
That's fine.
Speaking of drugs and cocaine, our next homework assignment.
Yeah.
Oh, we're hopping right in.
So I already.
If you get white powder in the mail, it was not from me. And don't touch it. It's probably anthrax. But if you can send it to me.
Very 2000s of you. I love that. What a throwback.
Well, we did just watch The Dark Knight.
Yeah, I'm feeling nostalgic for that early 2000s.
Are we all?
Speaking of nostalgia, so I already discorded you guys what I wanted to do for the next homework assignment, give us a little bit of a head start. But right now, the Steam Summer Sale is going on, and so there's a lot of games that you can buy for cheap if you're part of the PC Master Race. Sorry, Seth.
What's funny is you've sent me a couple of videos about all the games that are on sale, and I already own most of them. Like, all the ones I'm interested in, I already have.
That is a common problem with the Steam Summer Sale. It's just like, hey, you can buy this for $4. And I was like, I paid full $60 for that, like literally a year ago, and I haven't even played it. If I had just waited, I could have gotten it for cheap. Anyways. Digressing. The Steam Summer Sale is going on. There's a lot of games on sale, and one of the games was actually the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, which I know Seth already owns because he is a PlayStation boy.
Oh, look at that physical media.
And,
How archaic.
And it's a franchise I'm not super familiar. I'm familiar with from like the 90s, like late 90s, early 2000s culture, but I kind of want to actually take the time to do it because I could pick it up for $4. And so we're going to do that. We're going to spend the next couple of weeks. Obviously, none of us have to finish it. Seth, you've beaten it multiple times, I'm sure.
This is all three of these games are like 3 out of the 5 games that I've 100%ed in my life.
Yeah,
These are my favorite games from my childhood. I have purchased them so many times and played them a lot.
So yeah, we're gonna play them. We don't have to get through all of them. Like, get as far as you can. Seth, you know better about like what kind of play time goes into all 3 of them. I'm assuming they're not super long, but
it depends how good you are at platformers. That's really what it'll do it.
That will also be part of the conversation. So yeah, we're gonna do the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, and we will have some fun with that. Anyways, I am TCK Media on most platforms. You can find that Seth23 on the Ticket Talkies. He's probably posting something problematic right now. And then you have Marcuna herself. She occasionally streams, and you can also go check out Gamebirds, listen to some of their stuff talking about indie games. It's a great time. But that's all we have for you guys today, and we'll see you all next time.
Bye.